Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Notification Podcast, your go-to source for this week's new book releases. Today, we're looking at the week from January 26th to February 1st, 2026. There are over 550 new books releasing this week, with plenty of exciting titles, including a new Frida McFadden. But there is no way that we could cover them all. Visit booknotification.com to explore the full list of this week's new books. You can also follow your favorite authors so you'll be the first to know when their next book is available. As always, we have 10 books to highlight with a little something for everybody. Let's get into it. Dead Man's List is the first in a new series by L.T. Ryan and Andre Gonzalez. Former DEA intelligence agent Danny Cortez lives off the grid after losing his partner and career to a cartel he helped dismantle. When a message linked to his supposedly dead partner surfaces, Danny is pulled back into danger, just as the cartel leader he imprisoned escapes custody. Forced to re-enter the criminal underworld to protect his family and uncover the truth, Danny confronts lingering questions about loyalty and betrayal, only to discover the threat may extend beyond the cartel itself. Dead Man's List will be released on January 27th. The Katrina and Good series by New York Times bestselling author Caitlin Rother begins with Hooked. Investigative reporter Katrina Chopin and homicide detective Ken Good are drawn together by an immediate connection, only to find themselves on opposite sides of a high-profile murder case involving two biotech executives in an affluent coastal community. As Katrina and Good pursue competing leads into the deaths and the company behind them, professional boundaries blur and personal risks escalate. When Katrina becomes the target of a stalker tied to her past, their investigation exposes a dangerous network of corruption beneath the polished surface of seaside privilege. Get hooked on February 1st. The White Room Runs Red is a new psychological horror novel from Matt Shaw. Two strangers, James and Emily, awaken imprisoned in a sterile white room, stripped of their identities and memories of how they arrived there. Monitored through a two-way mirror and subjected to rigid rules enforced by unseen authorities, they are promised comfort for compliance and punishment for resistance. As medical examinations repeat and instructions replace answers, the pair struggle to understand the purpose behind their confinement. Trapped in an experiment governed by fear and control, James and Emily must decide whether to endure the system or risk everything to challenge it and uncover the truth. The White Room Runs Red will be available on January 31st. Crammed by Nick Pirog is the first in a new conspiracy thriller series. College student Ben Adair awakens inside a sealed warehouse staged to resemble a fully stocked Costco. Soon joined by strangers and public figures abducted from around the world, their confinement is broadcast on the dark web as a reality spectacle, with viewers betting on relationships, survival, and death. As more captives arrive, food dwindles and social order collapses into factions. Outside, governments investigate the unexplained disappearances, while Ben's mother searches for answers. Inside, the captives realize their imprisonment is part of a growing experiment, whose architects are far from finished. Crammed begins on January 29th. Escape is an exciting debut novel from Stephen Fischbach. Kent Duvall, a former reality TV winner desperate to reclaim relevance, joins a new jungle survival show alongside contestants cast into familiar stereotypes. While the group competes to survive and win a staged treasure hunt, hidden motives and personal histories complicate the game. Behind the scenes, producer Beck Berman manipulates events to shape her own redemption narrative. As rivalries intensify and control over the story unravels, the competition devolves into sabotage and power struggles, raising doubts about whether the contestants are participants or expendable characters in a manufactured spectacle. Get ready for Escape on January 27th. Hexes and Foes is the first book in the Agents of Spell series by C.D. Rachels. A seasoned agent sworn to protect the magical world is forced to partner with Taz, his former rival from sorcery school, to confront a growing dark threat. Their shared history fuels tension as they battle extra-dimensional monsters and unravel emerging dangers. Despite constant friction, their combined skill proves essential in breaking hexes and safeguarding both mortals and mages. As secrets surface and their uneasy alliance deepens, the line between rivalry and attraction blurs, complicating their mission and testing their commitment to duty. Hexes and Foes will be available on January 30th. The Crane Maiden is a new coming-of-age fantasy by M.H. Woodscourt. When her little sister dies during an enemy raid, Janae prays to Holy Avalon, seeking protection for her village. What she doesn't expect is to hear a voice telling her that she must personally lead the armies of Freylin against the growing threat. Joined by a gentle unicorn and a few brave allies, Janae sets out to liberate Freylin, even at the risk of her own freedom. However, the road to war isn't straightforward. Janae must first gain the trust of the Crane Prince by convincing him she's not a fraud. Will the Church of Avalon accept her calling? Or will they condemn her as a heretic? The Crane Maiden kicks off the series on January 26th. Roped into Paradise is a sweet rom-com by Shanna Hatfield. J.J. McCade's quiet visit with his grandmother turns into an unexpected Caribbean cruise filled with her meddling friends and nonstop chaos. Aboard the ship, he forms a connection with Kinsley Klein, whose job depends on following strict rules against fraternizing with passengers. As the voyage unfolds, both are forced to weigh obligation against growing feelings. With limited time and an uncertain future once the ship docks, JJ and Kinsley must decide whether a relationship sparked at sea can survive beyond it. Get Roped into Paradise on January 29th. Curvy Girls Blaze is a small-town firefighter love story by Raven Moon. Nina Cole has spent her life around firefighters and made one firm rule. She will never date one. But when Blaze, a reckless wildfire fighter with a Marine past, walks into her family's bar, that rule is tested. Drawn together despite her fears and his dangerous profession, they struggle with the risks that come with loving someone who runs toward danger. As attraction deepens, Nina must confront her fear of loss, and Blaze must consider what it means to build a future beyond the fire line. Find Curvy Girls Blaze on January 28th. Finally, we have A Beast Slinks Toward Beijing by Alice Evelyn Yang. 11 years after her father vanished, Qian's is confronted by his sudden return, a frail man carrying fragments of a forgotten prophecy. As he recounts his past, from the Cultural Revolution to earlier family history, Qian's is drawn into truths long withheld from her. At the same time, she begins experiencing unsettling visions that blur folklore and reality. As her father's stories and the prophecy converge, Qian's must confront her family's legacy and the growing sense that something ancient and dangerous is awakening around her. A Beast Slinks Towards Beijing will be released on January 27th. That's our 10 books for this week. Until next time, you can check out booknotification.com. Book Notification offers an easy way to track your reading list, follow your favorite authors, and never miss a new release. Our website is completely free to use and it's packed with features to make your reading life easier. You can follow your favorite authors and get notified whenever they release new books. We send out an email every Tuesday with a list of fresh releases from the authors you love, but that's not all. You can track your reading progress, mark books as read, rate and review them, and even import your data from Goodreads, Calibre, Libby, and more. Want to discover something new? Check out Reader's Roulette for book recommendations, or use our personalized book release calendar to stay up to date with the latest titles. You can even tag books with custom labels, just like on Goodreads shelves, and get tailored recommendations for what to read next based on your current book. Whether you're looking for books in publication or want to see them listed in chronological order, we've got it covered. Plus, all of our authors are audited by real people, so you know the information is accurate. So why not give it a try and join the thousands of readers already using our site to stay on top of their reading game. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week with another 10 books.